Hello. I don't know if anybody's here. I promised to go on at 5. Sorry to anybody that came by. I had some things go on that I went to the store and something I got wasn't right and all this. It wasn't the way I planned. So I got here late. It's like 5:20. Anyway, that's life in Permaland. And I got a couple extra vehicles now. My car is nearing its end, I feel. It's 240,000 miles, even though it's a Honda and they run a long time. I'm a little scared that it's going to go out. So I got another car and I got a small truck recently, and that's taken my time. So I'm trying to get some things to make it better, get them ready for use. Some mats, some seat covers, which I haven't got yet. 4-way, so if I you have to take the lug nuts off. So today I'm in the hardware store, and this is what I found for charging my phone, of course. But look at this. You have plugs into USB, and pull that down, plugs into the wall also. So it's home and car charger, and it's got 2 USB plugs in it. Kind of a neat thing. Permaculture stacking function style. What's the name of it? I'm trying to think. I left the box in the car. It's Fuse plus U. F-U-Z-E. F-U-S-E. So I don't know how well it works, but it's a cool idea. And anyway, you might look into that. If you have issues of having your phone charged like I do. I need my phone for work, so I have to always keep it charged and that type of thing. So I guess I don't have phone issues, but I have to have it charged all the time. So that's the thing. That's what. So I haven't been uploading many videos because I'm kind of energy's going all over the place, and trying to fix up the. As I dropped the mouse, trying to fix up the Pacific Permaculture Institute house and conduct the rest of my life and watch some other people's videos and support. And that's the way those things kind of go sometimes. It's a little difficult, but anyway, continuing on. That's, if you haven't seen me very much, that's part of why right there. And what else is going on? Pretty much nothing yet. Part of why right there. And I'm still learning some of the ways to use this the most effectively. This going through StreamYard. It looks like somebody's watching. I don't know who it is, but let me show this banner, Grow and Share Food. And it's kind of so I hope some of my ardent supporters come by. Don't know if they will. I got this mask hanging by my neck because when you go to a store here in California, at least in Contra Costa County and Alameda County, the Bay Area, you got to wear the mask. So it's not comfortable to wear, but what are you going to do? We're trying to slow how many people catch things. Is it effective? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I know it feels like it's impacting my health if I wear it for very long. So I try to only wear it when I'm close to getting inside the store. And especially in the heat if it gets hot. And we're not in a super hot area. I can only imagine if you're in the Southwest, how hot it gets. If people must be passing out wearing these things. We're not used to it. So anyway, that kind of thing. Other than that, just plugging along, trying to do what I have to do. Next weekend will be the 4-year YouTube anniversary giveaway on Pacific Permaculture. So tell one, tell all, come one, come all. I think those who show up to the live stream, I'll put your names in a hat, some kind of bucket or a hat or something, and then I'll pull out the winners. I don't know how many there's going to be, but if I have the book here, I'll show. It's most likely at least 2. I'm not sure how many copies I have, but this is what the giveaway will be. But Permaculture Designer's Manual by Bill Mollison. Those who know about permaculture know that him and David Holmgren, came up with the concept of permaculture. It's basically about regenerative living. So sustainability is where you're halfway between total destruction and regeneration, right? So permaculture's, I believe, beyond just sustainable. It's towards regenerative. Let's see the comments. Hi, Cecilia. How you doing? You want to come up on the panel? I can invite. I just got here myself. I came dashing in. Let's see if I know how to do this still. I have ordered some more yarn, and it will be coming to your address. They told me there's some delay. I believe that's a Corona delay. Yeah, it is a nice book. It was a little bit on the expensive side. And it took a long time to receive because I had to order it from Tagari Publishing in Australia. And apparently when they ship things, they have to go through customs, etc., to get here, and it's a big long journey. Excuse me a second. Let me tamper down on the background volume. I know it's part of the scene here, but it's kind of disruptive of the video. So give me a second. Don't forget that apple. Don't forget. Anyway, I'm going to close the door because it's kind of loud. Anyway, so, I just thought it was a good thing, and it even enlightens me when I look in there, things that I hadn't thought of or forgot about in permaculture. So I'm just trying to get this ball rolling more and more and more. Permaculture, if you call it permaculture or don't call it permaculture, whatever. I call it permaculture. Maybe you call it regenerative design. Maybe you have an agroforestry so-called setup. Okay. Maybe. My hair is kind of unkempt, and it's still quite long to most people's standards. It, let's see, doesn't go to my waist at all. So that's a hazard because I cut it a few years back thinking I was going to get a job that I didn't get. And I'm like, why? I like hair. I like my hair. Although my forehead is trying to outgrow it currently, I like it. I like hair on me and on other people. I don't know what it is, but that's me. I like hair. Part of it could be that my dad always made us get like a crew cut. Now, it wasn't often. Once a year or twice a year or something when he was around and he could spare the time, he'd bring me down and get my haircut at a regular barber. He wasn't some new age person. He wasn't a hippie. My dad was very mainstream. And he didn't consider long hair to be the right thing to do. He did not have any facial hair either. He was clean shaven his whole life. And I know people think, oh, you're from a hippie family. Wrong, friend. Wrong. Okay, I evolved into this, and I still have some kind of mainstream ways that might not be the best, but anyway, that's the thing. I found permaculture. Nobody gave me a free ticket to permaculture or to a PDC or to any of this. So those that feel like you've been deprived, permaculture isn't the place. You grab a shovel, you do what you can, you save your money to go to a PDC. Okay. Now, some are offering lower cost to accommodate those who, for whatever reason, can't afford, but it's not a giveaway program. And anyway, it doesn't mean it's easy, but maybe sometimes walking the path makes us more committed and makes us think more about it. I don't know. But, and also you don't want to impoverish the people who are trying to teach it in order to spread it either. So there's kind of a balance we're trying to find. Oh, mine's growing good. I was going to do some harvesting today, but with everything, I had to take some stuff back, and then I had to try to get here by 5 p.m. Pacific, and I didn't make it. I was here like 5:20 or something. And yeah, considering the amount of time I put in, the watering, etc., it's doing well. I planted it late, I think in like April. Can't complain. You know, every day that I'm there messing with it, I'm learning something, looking at it, and it's a good thing. I plan to get more half barrels. I do have a truck now. If you missed the first preamble I was talking about, I got a new, it's not new, it's new to me. Ford Ranger was a 2005 model, and I have to access the tie down points because they're under a bed liner. And then I can get some more half barrels. I can go pick them up. So it simplifies some things. And basically, I'm going to get ready for next year. I'm going to go great guns. I want to have at least, I don't know, 20 or 30 more half barrels growing. And why did my banner just stop? My banner just stopped. It kind of seized up. I don't know why that is. I hope the internet isn't failing here. Everything locked up. It locked up again. I don't know why that is. That happened three times now. Darn it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let me close some other things I had going on my computer just to be safe. Maybe my email or some other kind of nonsense is making it stop. Hello. Are you still here, Cecilia? I'll wait a few minutes and see if you re-enter the room or what happens, because I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, the screen started locking up. I don't know what caused that. Internet failure, maybe there's a lot of people around here getting on the internet. So I had to basically quickly try to shut it down and get it back because it wasn't doing nothing good. I don't know why that is, but YouTube knows, and I don't know, maybe one of my followers. Oh, hi. Let me, I don't know where some of my functions are missing here. It's kind of weird. Same changes sometimes. So if you want to get on the panel, you can. That's the link right there. Thanks for sticking around. I don't know if anybody came by and missed me. I hope they didn't. I hope they just decided not to come by. But I feel bad if people came by and they missed the live stream. I know it's so exciting, you know, so wouldn't want to miss this. I'm wondering if it's my computer, because this is just horrible scope. Computer was just flashing a second ago. What is this? Well, thanks for sharing, Cecilia. That's helpful. You know, the term permaculture, people aren't sure about it. It scares them away because they like to know what they already know, basically, right? People aren't always into expanding their mind or their consciousness or anything, and that's the bad thing about humans. They want it simple. Simple as knowing what you knew maybe in kindergarten. Well, if you want to advance and make society better, you got to keep learning things. You don't have to learn at the highest rate. Just keep learning a few things here and there. And thanks again for sharing. And I don't know. This thing is not so much tied to Facebook, so I'm okay if people don't come from Facebook, honestly. That's not my thing at all. So, yeah, I'm working on the house. All these crazy projects I do. Trying to put things in the cars so they're ready. Each one with a charger, a tool or two, things like that. Pens and some paper in case I have to write a note. Just doing why I want everything in all my cars similar so I don't have to remember every single item every time. And that's one step. So I also ordered a big wallpaper mural. Oh, yeah, me too. I got landline. I have to have the little smartphone for work. But, yeah, I have a landline here and a landline where I'm going. And, I mean, on this side of the earth, not when not like after I die, not at the end of my path. I don't know if I'll have a landline then. But, have that. And I'm actually going to have to find someone to rewire the phone jacks to make sure they're good. Because part of it's process of elimination and the phone jacks are old, but I don't want to rely on trying to do a live stream and something's not coming in good. So if I do it and it's not coming in real great, that means the internet is not strong enough, or, you know, it needs more capacity. I need a higher level subscription or whatever you call it, maybe. So good for you. I wish I didn't have to have the phone. That's the positive and the negative of my job. Positive is I don't have to go somewhere to find out about my job. So I can be at home or wherever. The negative is that I have to be near it all the time because I don't know when I'm going to get called. And that's the thing. Oh, a friend. And anyway, there's yeah, so that's a big drama. I've almost got it set. I just thought today with it, talking to someone else, that I have one more wall in what used to be called the front room. It's going to be my media room, that I can put mural wallpaper on that wall. So I'm thinking to do that now too. I'm thinking to get like a big wave or something. And so in other words, the wall in front of me and the wall behind me will be murals. And over to my left, if I'm sitting the way I'm thinking of looking, it'll be a big picture window with a big, you know, it's like 10 foot or something window with a mini blind. And on my right is going to be a paneled wall. So it'll be pretty cool, I think. How much have I been able to harvest? A couple of bags full, I would say. I don't know how many, you know, if you want to ask me in pounds, I don't have a clue. But a couple bags full. I got some kale, and I got some beet leaves I harvested, and the tomatoes are just starting to come on. Looks like I might be having a little bit of blossom end rot issues in it, but I only water deeply once a week. And it looks like some sweet peppers I have are pretty ripe. And that's about. There's some melons that I don't know how long more they have, but I think they'll be good. Even the things that I ate, the small amount that I ate, it just feels vibrant because it's closer to being alive when I pick it. So the stuff in the store, no telling how little vibrancy it has left. You know, it's been picked a week or 2 or 3 weeks ahead. I'm not sure. I'm not sure really what to put. Maybe green, mainly greens and stuff, I guess. Huh? I know kale can last through the winter, so I'll keep that. And but here I can harvest tomatoes and bell peppers into sometimes December. You know, so I'm not sure if I'll get into the whole fall garden thing. If I stop then with a more or less summer harvest, then everything will bolt when it gets warm. Yeah, and I think it's an energetic thing too with the homegrown. It just, there's more energy, more goodness left in it. So I have a juicer I have never fired up. I'm going to try this year sometime. And I also have a solar oven I have never brought out to try to figure out how it works, and I'd like to be able to utilize that. So I think as it comes on closer to me spending more time at the Pacific Permaculture Institute, to give my own plug there, that's more possible because I can have it set up. I have a big curved driveway, so I could set the solar oven up on that, and it's all concrete, so it gets really warm. I can set that up, harvest some things, put them in there. I don't know how long. After a while, they'll be cooked while I'm there doing whatever, right? So I'm gonna try to incorporate all these things in, and little by little make it even better and better, more vibrant, robust. Yeah, even the little cherry tomatoes, the ones I grew at home, were phenomenally better than the organic, you know, nice little ones in the store that didn't cost a ton of money, but still you're paying for something. And I agree with the organic concept, but the concept of buying things that have been in the market for weeks is not a good one. So yeah, I want to try it and get good at it. And I'm thinking of, if I can, to try to get the guy that makes them involved and have one as like a big display. Make like a community size one. Maybe he'll be supportive on that, I would hope. And then I'll gladly display his brand if it works well and everything, and that kind of thing. I'd like to incorporate a lot of goodness into that. Maybe have a little community festival. I could maybe have it like here as a rental. So for example, some community festival, in other words, on a trailer, a big one, that you can maybe cook for 50 or 100 people with. And then people could come, give me a deposit, rent it for some big green festival. I don't know what you'd call some, you know, natural expo or whatever, and cook their stuff in it and bring it back. And then it could spread the word. And that way I'd be willing to hold it at on my property. So I'm thinking things like that are potential. So whether it makes anything, I don't know, but I'm trying to push things forward in a positive way, right? Positive change, not just change. Change always happens, tends to be negative. Unless you really push, you don't get positive change and improvement. See, so that's the thing. I'm pushing for improvements, and just doing what I can in the little bit of time I have. I just got the house, and therefore the ability to make some change better. And I'm trying to push it out, and just, it's kind of a drama getting the house done. It really is. I have a guy that helped me with some things. I asked if he knew someone that would help with the setting up the outlets for the phone, or the phone jacks. And he kind of might, but then again, he's busy too with his job, so he's not spent a lot of time on that. And it's just, things are dragging on. And I had to get rid of some things that were my parents, because it was my parents' home. That's where I grew up. So there's some connection. It's not just like somebody left a pile of junk to get rid of. Yeah, yeah, I'm hoping the solar thing does good, and I'll find out. I've thought for a while also they need to invent a hybrid one. Say, for example, you get solar preheat or solar, I don't know how much, half or something, and you do a little bit of gas or a little bit of some electric bulbs or something. That's still better than all just grid, I would think. So I think that would be a good move today too to get people more interested. I would like to. Yes, that is kind of the intention. I would like to have some kind of get together. It'd be hard to get my YouTube friends together because we're in disparate places all around. But yeah, it would be nice. And you know, that's why I want to learn these things too. Have a big solar cooked feast. And I have just, yeah. And I want to make a video on some other things. And meanwhile, I'm like, where'd I put the camera? Because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's just, you know, life, there's just a lot going on right now. So that's a good idea to do a video on solar oven. And really, if I can do well with it and it works well, I want to promote this guy's company. I'll let him know. Hey, I'm very happy to give you the nod. And are you interested in collaborating and making a big giant one? Hi, White Flowers. Thanks for coming by. I don't know if I'm one of your subs, but I'll check you out if I'm not already. I have a lot of people I'm sub to, and I'm not sure offhand who I am and who I'm not. But thanks for coming by. And so both of you know, then next week will be my 4-year YouTube anniversary giveaway live stream. So that's going to be on the 9th, maybe. The actual four years is, I think, on the 6th, but sometimes I work on Thursdays, and there's also a family gathering that day. So I have to push it off a few extra days. And I'm going to, whoever shows up to that, I'll put their name in the hat and draw names for at least 2 of these books, which is Permaculture, a Designer's Manual by Bill Mollison. It's the tome of permaculture, kind of. And I'll be getting people's addresses and whatnot, and they can hold on a second. And I can send them the thing, whoever wins. Oh, you have a sun oven? Nice. I've had this one for about 3 years, and with this going on, with that going on, I haven't got around to dealing with it. And now I have more space, and you know, to me, it makes more availability to do things. I don't know what mine is called. I think it is All American Sun Oven. White Flowers. I'm looking at it. That's why I'm craning my neck here, like, because it's over here on the shelf. And also where I'm at right here in Oakland, it's not as hot. So I always, I want to dig it out, and I got to clean it up and put it back. I don't have a right place to just put it for a minute without cleaning it up and all the kind of political thing of that, because I don't own this house. But where I'm moving to, I own. So if I want to leave it out all crusty, I can. No problem. I really don't want to, because I'll be able to want to be able to use it again nicely. But you know, that's the thing. There's more freedom over there in that way. So, but yeah, I will be having a giveaway. I don't know how many I'm giving away. I ordered several, and well, you know the thing then, White Flowers. Show up here next Sunday on my live stream, and maybe you'll be one of the lucky winners. Let me see. I've got at least 1, 2, 3. So if you know anybody interested in permaculture, tell them come by my live stream, White Flowers or Cecilia. I intend to keep 1 or 2 for the Institute. And I don't want anybody to get on the wrong page. It'll be 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time next Sunday. That I'm doing this because I make a lot of money on YouTube. I don't make anything yet on YouTube at all. So I'm doing it because I think it's a good thing to do. Good word to spread. Good ideas to spread. And that's why I'm doing it. And let's see how many I have. I think looks like I had 5 I ordered, so I'll most likely be giving out 3, and I'll keep 2 for the Institute, because I'm also going to build a garden and permaculture physical archive there. So in other words, everything's not going to be digital. And so also, if anybody has gardening books they'd like to send, let me know. Gardening or permaculture books they want to donate. Now, I don't have a nonprofit organization status and all that, so I can't get you a deduction. But if anybody, just out of the generosity of their heart, has gardening and permaculture books they're willing to bundle up and send to me, I would appreciate it. I mean, of course, you don't have to, but I would appreciate if people have some. And I'm going to build kind of an archive here and go from there. And I want, people that are interested in this thing. And when we have classes and things, someone could sit in my media room and look through the archive and learn a few things and this kind of thing. And maybe have some instruction within the media room about gardening and permaculture and all these different associated things, right? Reusing water, I don't know, whatever you want. That's kind of associated, right? So that's what I'm thinking. That's part of what I'm thinking. And I mean, people get offended by someone asking, but it's best to ask and everybody say no than not ask. And people would have said yes, because that happens in life, I've learned. So nowadays I'm better at asking, and people do say no, but so be it. No, I don't have PayPal. I don't want any monetary donation or anything right now. But like I say, if somebody has a book they want to send, great. I'll accept that. I don't know how to do PayPal, and really, I kind of don't want to, because they take a percentage. And, it's not fair to really even the person donating the money say, I donate $10 and they take maybe $3 for the service. No. And to me, that's not a just transaction. There was a YouTuber that I supported that I met up with in Hawaii that I said, hey, give me an address and I'll send you some money to donate. Where I'm moving to is still within the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a town called Crockett, California. Look that up. If you blink, you'll miss the whole darn place. And I grew up over there. And anyway, there's a lot of good things. Not perfect. I know people are going to look on there. You're talking permaculture. It should be perfect. You know what? All of us are flawed human beings. And we're doing what we can. I mean, just because it's not perfect, does that mean I should just not try? It's like there are people critical of John Muir because he wasn't very in tune with other than his own people of his own kind of creed and background and all that, right? But he did a lot of good. Would we want that everybody is just pretends they're a saint and nobody does any good? Or do we want people that are flawed, like all of us are, that actually spend some energy doing good? Let's take the flawed people that want to do good and let them do good and quit criticizing them. Try to get the people that are not doing any good, that are flawed, to do some good. The world would be a lot better. Let's try to spread community, not division, togetherness over hate and separate ideas, it's just like cooperation is much better to move us forward as society than separation. So groups that spread hate are only building more separation. They're taking us farther from the goal. It tends to be that the non-elite, we're all fighting for the same crumbs. What we got to do is look and see, hey, 98% of the pie or 95% or something of the pie is over there. Someone else is eating it. We're fighting over the last few percentages of the pie, the crumbs. We need to look at the whole picture and quit fighting each other, work together to make it all better for all of us. Yeah, it takes time to set things up. You're right, Cecilia. Nothing's overnight. And originally the house was on a half acre, so it's not a tremendous acreage, but there's a place to do a lot of half barrels, do a lot of little projects, and I'm going to do what I can. Of course, I wish I had like 500 acres to play around with in a tropical setting or something, but I don't. That's the way it goes. I do what I can with what I have. Yeah, I agree. White Flowers Homestead. You'd like a little help with a design for your land? Good idea. Look online. Maybe there's someone in your area that would be willing to just come and give you some ideas. Or maybe make a design you have to pay something for, but it's a really good design. What area of the country are you in, White Flowers? Are you in the U.S. or Canada, or where are you living? As I say that, I realize, you don't not necessarily in the United States. Where are you living, White Flowers? Yes, Cecilia, I already did a couple videos on the place, and yeah, as I do things, I have been doing some follow-up videos. Arizona. Okay. So I'm trying to think if I know of anybody that's in, YouTube-wise, that's in Arizona. I think Out West Homestead is in New Mexico. That's a YouTube channel. Exactly, Cecilia. Howie of Food Forest Permaculture. So if you haven't went there, White Flowers Homestead, look at Food Forest Permaculture by Howie's up in Canada. Now, he's not in your climate at all. So I'm just saying that he's very inspiring to watch. And anyway, I'm trying to think. There was some, I think, that it was in Arizona, and I can't think of it. I think that the guy that's really into rainwater harvesting, I think, might be in Arizona. Have you heard of Brad Lancaster? Look into things by Brad Lancaster. He probably has videos up, etc. Gee, I don't know, Cecilia. It was recently I did Runner Bean was one. Rainy Day was another one. Update. was another one. Things like that. Trying to think what all of them are, but I haven't done a lot. Plant out or something like that. You know, garden plant out. So the ones of the last couple months were mainly there. But there's one, I think, Greening the Desert, that they may be in Texas, but I think they're in Arizona originally. Is it Greening the Desert, or I think it's Greening the Desert. A couple of ladies that are now moving to Texas with their tiny homes that they're building in shipping containers. And at least look into them. You know what? Look into all the permaculture ones, because there's something to gain, even if they're not in your exact climate. There's always a potential to gain insight. And also, this community's got to support each other. So that's the thing. Oh, yeah. Please always go through my video archive. For one thing, if you go back to the first ones, you can see how much better they are now, because those ones were a little bit marginal, a lot of those. So but yeah, anybody wants to subscribe, feel free. My archive is only about 179 videos, most of them very short, and some of them very entertaining, says me, and some of them maybe not so much, but I've been trying for 4 years, and that's how it is. Everybody says click notifications. I don't tell people that, because I've had notifications at times where they're emailing me, and when I'm getting 20, 30 different extra emails, is too much. So I just look, just maybe not every day, but just about every day, I look at where my subscribers are, and then they'll have a little, like a dot showing that they have something new up, and then I'll go check them out. So I really don't, I don't have the notifications on my own. It's just the thing. Remember to check some people's stuff out. And also, there's some that I've been trying to catch up on that I just subscribed to that seem like they're really good people. So one is In the Ohia Trees. Girl is in Hawaii, and plus I relate to it, because Hawaii, the Big Island's great. And so I've been trying to catch up with her videos. There's a guy that has a channel called Jay's Journeys, or is it Jay's Journey? Jay's Journey, I think. Anyway, I've been trying to catch up with his videos. I've been binging on his I want to see his whole archive. They go back a year or two. So yeah, exactly, Cecilia. You get 100 emails a day from YouTube and Facebook. For me, no thank you. No thank you. I get enough emails of random stuff and everything already. No. It would take away from the time that I might spend watching somebody's video, telling me about the video being uploaded. So no. That's why I don't advocate it. I try to treat everybody like I feel I like things. That's why I tend to do shorter videos too, because I feel like a lot of people like the shorter videos like I do, and that type of thing. Although the variance in that is me coming on here live, and I go and chat forever. So I'm going to post this. I'm not going to be on here for a whole lot longer, but if anybody wants to come up on the panel, either you want to come up, you can. It's more lively. It's more fun for me than just talking to people that are typing at me. It can be more interesting than just typing at each other. Anyway, if either of you two want to, feel free. Plant a tree. Feel free, friends. So, people are worried lately about the whole, well, we're heading into an economic slow down and this and that. And maybe it sounds simplistic and naive, but I still say grow food and share food. You know, maybe you can't grow enough for your whole diet. So if you grow 2 onions, you're better off than if you grew none. If you grow 2 bell peppers, you're better off than if you grew none. So, you know, the negative people say, you're not going to last long on, you know, a bell pepper or 2 or whatever. Okay, you might not. So what? You grew it yourself. The odds of us actually needing to survive on that last bell pepper are pretty low in my estimation anyway. But anyway, start small, start local. Start with your own yard. If you can only have one big pot to grow things in, grow something you like. Try to grow enough that you have some you can share with friends and family or a neighbor. And start that now. The sooner the better. If it all collapses in another year, that's good because we have 1 more year to prepare. Then it's better than if it happens exactly right now. If it happens in 3 years, it's much, much better. We have to get a lot of people up and gardening by then. Thing is, money, it's hard to make money versus grow food and all this. But at a minimum, we don't want to see people that are our neighbors and friends and relatives starving. Okay, that's the thing. Nice, Cecilia. 30 pepper plants. Are any of those sweet peppers? Are they all hot pepper or a mix? That's funny. I had a video I was going to put up because the port in my computer was broke. So I brought it down to a guy to fix it, and he fixed the port nicely. Okay, so I got it back, and I hadn't used this computer in several years. So I had forgot that some of the keys don't work. I actually have to use a keyboard with the laptop. Okay. And the other thing I realized is I think it's got a virus on it, so it goes really slow. So that means at least 1 more time I got to bring it back to somebody. So, oh, gee. I don't regret helping a local guy, though. I just forgot because I'd put that computer off the side at the time and got another one. So part of it's sharing the surplus, you know, just helping other people's do okay. And we don't want the economy to totally bottom out to nothing. If any level we can maintain by helping each other, helping local businesses, all for the better. Hi, Howie. Thanks for coming by. I hope I didn't miss you earlier. I had planned to be on at 5, and then I dropped the ball, friend. So my apologies if you did come by earlier because I wasn't here till about 5:20. And if you'd like to get on a Powie panel, I was going to say, if you'd like to get on the panel, Howie, there is the link. I don't know how to get people the wrench yet so people can drop their own links, but, you know, if anybody hasn't seen each other's channel, try to find them and check them out. And if you think about it, give me a thumb. Anybody that comes by, give me a thumb. It can be up or down. Now I just say a thumb. I used to say thumbs up. No. It can be a down thumb or an up thumb. It still helps. And, of course, I don't know when the so-called monetization thing will happen. But, hey, more positive vibes, they expand, right? The more you use them, the more they expand. Oh, is Cecilia the bell ringer? She's supposed to let everybody know. Hi, Howie.
Hi, Ron.
Sorry, I've been missing your lives lately. It's just been my timing with just trying to get everything together. I'm not quite doing it right.
I'm not offended at all. It's great to see you, man.
I've been watching your fishing. I'm not much of a fisherman because I really don't have much taste for fish, but I like watching it nonetheless. Cool.
It's a lot of fun. You go new places. I'm going again tomorrow morning fishing.
Nice.
I love it. I get some kelp. I'm picking up some kelp tomorrow, the bull kelp. I'm going to shred it, eat it, dry it, put it on my food, my salad. I'm emptying my biodigester this coming Sunday. I know it's Sunday today, but the one that's coming next week.
Really?
Well, yeah, because that's where we put all the bones and stuff and fish guts and everything, and it just, comfrey, and put in some mint in there so it don't smell, right? Wood ash.
Good idea.
And pour it all over.
Down into a compact.
It's in no, it's okay. It's in a large container, like a huge garbage can. And then once you fill it with bones, like beef bones, whatever you got, like when you clean fish, whatever, chicken bones, whatever, you put it all in there, and you put comfrey leaves in too, and wood ash. So then what you do is you empty that juice several times a year onto the forest floor, around the trees, from the trunk to the drip line, and you walk around with it all comes out like a watering can, all little squirts. You just walk around and give them a drink, and then you hit it with the hose and it soaks it in really good. And it's amazing to see the health. I found a slug today. One slug.
Is it good that there's only one, or you're happy?
Well, I leave areas for slugs and snails to go and have, have a habitat, right? I don't want to kill them. That's not the idea. It's to coexist, right?
Exactly. The best we can, yeah.
Yeah. I've been having a great time picking blackberries, blueberries, raspberries.
I mean, honestly, at some point, I'd like there to be grizzlies again, but around.
Well, we got grizz here.
That doesn't mean I want to get eaten by one, right? So the balance is, if he comes near me, I'm going to blast him with a gun, hopefully, right?
Yeah. Generally, they don't bother people. They go and eat the fish in the river.
Makes sense. They want the salmon and stuff coming.
They didn't bother me. I stood right there and watched them.
In the Bay Area, I read a couple of stories about in Berkeley Hills, way back when, late 1800s, people getting killed by grizzlies. So that's how far we've changed the ecology. It's kind of sad. But
I don't know if there are grizzlies
to get back used to any kind of wildlife, because we're not used to it anymore. We came here after it was all kind of flushed out and just a clean slate. Like,
see, the bear is part of the ecosystem. He eats, right? He eats whatever he eats. He's an omnivore.
Right.
So the bear is an important part of your ecosystem. So to replace the bear is, if you're eating organic, you go out and you pass your waste and you act as the bear.
Yeah.
That's how you would. I know it sounds out there, but that's how you would maintain balance, because you obviously don't have the bear where you are.
Right, because you're adding the nitrogen back.
Well, it was a lot more than just that, but I've seen huge mounds, say several wheelbarrow sizes, where the bear would eat the fish, go up onto a log, and then he would just go to the bathroom there for a month.
Wow.
And then that nutrients is amazing. If it feeds 200-300-foot trees here.
Exactly. See, it's all part of the nitrogen cycle. Part of it's a nitrogen cycle.
The redwoods in California need the bear poop for nutrients.
It does.
The redwoods in California.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
They need the bear waste. Because he's got to poop when he eats the fish, or he eats the seaweed, or eats the berries. And then when the bear poops, the giant redwoods, that's how they're fed, hey?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Thing of them cutting the redwoods out of the Bay Area, and then
Well, you have the Sequoia sempervarium is what you have, the California redwood.
Right.
Sequoia sempervarium. I've actually planted those.
At some point, though,
the
Bay Area, up to some point, there was redwoods that they had mills and everything, and they did it because it was such a small region. They did it really quick, and then a lot of people moved in after that never experienced that. So it
takes 2,000-3,000 years for it to grow back.
So we need to start some regeneration. Is kind of my point.
Mm.
Redo a lot of the streams. We're not going to get all the streams back.
Oh, my dog just took off after a mouse in my fig tree. I can see him. Sorry. That was action around here.
Creeks and start a program of restoring the forest. There's some groves that are growing back, but they're same age trees.
Right.
And that's no good. It needs to be, we need to get in there and try to make it balanced over a few hundred years to multi-age and try to bring back more predators and project. Okay, when I become a multi-billionaire, it's gonna be quicker because I can start some things. But right now, I'm just against the machine, kind of.
Planting one tree is the start.
Exactly.
And then others following you. I've planted redwoods before. Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have some seedlings in a half barrel at my house.
Nice.
Start some experimenting what I can do, how quick I can grow some things, partly for use, because then the more we do like that in local areas, the less we have to harvest the 2,000-year-old ones and try to change the narrative a little bit. It's going to be a slow turn, but we can turn this thing around, I think.
Yeah, Cecilia just did us a really good turn there. She shared us out on Facebook.
Thanks, Cecilia. Sorry,
Thank you very much.
Fall off on watching the comments.
Yeah, it's a local economy now. So anything that you can do to support your local economy, like getting into having a bunch of chickens, or if you're going to make some fertilizer, like organic fertilizer with the compost, the biodigester, there's many ways to money stream in permaculture, and that's how it's done. Hey, you start a group, and you all meet once a week, and then you trade what you have.
Makes sense.
It's not everybody. Well, yeah, this is how it works. You all meet at Walmart parking lot every Sunday, right? So you got eggs. This person just slaughtered a pig, or that one slaughtered a cow.
You point at the building and you go, there it is. Let's overgrow it right there.
Not only that, but not just a trade. It's buy, sell, and trade too. You might want to buy someone's produce and even resell it again.
Right.
Well, sure. And that's what it is. That's sustainable, right? Because you're doing a local economy. And that's what you want to look at. Even fishing, you can give away your fish, and then someone can give away their chicken or an egg. Or whatever.
The other thing I think is cooperatives, right? Cooperatives, but also just cooperatives. Say I'm starting a business, several owners, but we're cooperative members. So there's different rules. And you can do better in businesses that don't necessarily make that much, right? If you work for somebody. And I just need, we need to start fostering these. And I want that to be part of the Institute too. Bring in people to train, and we can kick this economy up in the Bay Area without changing a whole lot. We just change how we do things. And sorry, I didn't know. I noticed you just now, but I didn't have a chance.
Dan's Permaculture Food Forest coming
by. Do you want to get on the panel, Dan?
It's a good question, Dan.
We put the invite up again.
I do donate a lot of my food, Cecilia Jensen, to a food bank. I just did that again, actually. I brought in stuff I didn't want out of my bunker. No.
I love that. You're honest. Your bunker. Try to call it a wine cellar or whatever. My bunker.
You have to have one. There's crazy people out there. They're not nice, some people.
I know. That's the thing.
It's my safe place. I go in there. I got 3 escape routes, and you got to crawl in on your belly to come and see me. You're in a lot of trouble, man. You're in some serious, deep trouble.
Naive people out there that think that everybody's benign or nice, and it's not that way.
It's 50-50.
Okay. And some of it's 51-50. Okay. Yeah. And, anyway, right.
But getting back on track on that buy, sell, barter, trade,
exactly.
Even lend.
Yeah. Or just
there's lending. Not everybody's going to have money.
Yeah. Like tool lending libraries.
That, or you lend food. Bring me something later. The guy got no money.
Put a little chit mark in my.
He's got nothing to trade.
I remember, and then, yeah, that's a good one. because also without money, it's harder to barter directly right now. So say you give me the shark you just caught, and then I won't have my bell peppers and beets and whatever else I'm growing in maybe till September.
Exactly. So you're lending.
You one. I'm not going to give you interest. This whole thing that destroys everything.
It's just lending.
But
that's going to be a big part of the future.
I'll give you that, and then we keep it going. You can give the fish guts to somebody and help with the biodigester and
the biodigester.
Get this going again.
Is the integral part of the entire ecosystem of a food forest is the biodigester. You have to have one. You can't go without it.
You know what? I'd like to get one. I just thought of it when you're talking that because I'd like to get a generator as a backup. That would be excellent. Run it off of that.
But just the gas alone coming off the biodigester to be harnessed, would run a household easily.
Really?
A gas dryer to anything propane stove related or gas, a hot water tank. There's enough coming off of the biodigester to cook your food. And it's really important to have a biodigester if you can have one and build one. It's a little bit of work. Yeah. I just use my biodigester for like a compost tea. I don't harness the gas off of it, the methane. No. I don't. I could, but I'd have to go through a permit process, and I don't think they'll give me one for the city here. Oh, they don't care for that kind of thing.
I'm in just a county they call like unincorporated.
Oh, nice. That's the one.
Yeah. And there's things you don't have to mention sometimes. It would be great to have something though. If I had like a backup generator and maybe I don't know, how would you store the gas, but I can learn that. Store it, and then if everything hits a fan, kick on that generator. I'm up and running. The lights are on, and I'm running my media, and everybody else is sitting around with candles sad. Right?
Did you see what Dan Permaculture Food Forest said there?
Oh,
people in the rural area of Caribbean barter daily, trade chickens for yams and pork for veggies.
See, it's not even an issue there. It's commonplace. That's good.
Commonplace, yeah. That's what's supposed to happen. We're so far out of the food chain that we're all on big box stores. I'm trying to get away from that with fishing and growing my own food, but I have to buy some stuff too.
Yeah,
like canning jars, lids, soap. I don't make my own soap, even though I know how. I don't make my own soap.
But you're way ahead of most, Howie.
Well, I eat a lot out of my.
Up to your level, just think what a sea change we'd have.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah. Hey, do you want to come up on the panel? You'd be great to have on the panel. I'm really impressed with what you've done in a couple of years with your place down there. I know it's tropical.
Dan did pretty good. Wow. He did his research.
Beast. That's just amazing.
Yeah, he did good.
You're changing the mindset of that area. Oh, don't destroy everything. Just have lawn. Grow food. Grow tropical fruit. We're in tropical. That's excellent.
Dan grows a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he eats out of that place daily, I think.
Great.
I'm sure of it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are going with food forests now. I know quite a few here. Actually, a lot. and it's funny where they're being built. They're not being built on private land. They're being built on common ground. Yeah.
Nice.
Ground that's not used for anything. People approach the city. The city says, "Well, go ahead."
Yeah, they rather.
There it is. You could be walking along or driving along, and there's a food forest now. It's like,
nice.
Yeah, and it's common, so that means you can go up and harvest. Anyone can.
I like that.
That's there's several here in the city now, and I've participated in building several.
Oh yeah.
I don't videotape because people are private, right? Like they don't want a camera in their face, right?
Right.
So I respect that. So a lot of the ones that like years ago that I went on and built on common ground, and I never videotaped. I never documented it. Neither did anybody else. because it was an issue where some folks felt comfortable being filmed and some did not. So the decision was not to film.
Yeah, we had a community garden that didn't get much support because a lot of people wanted to come and harvest, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't want to come and do the labor and the maintenance and everything, right? So that it kind of fell in a bit.
I looked after a guy's trees that he's got he owns the Rocky Hill Food Forest. Mm-hmm. And I looked after for a few days the trees that he planted, the bare rootstock this year. You got to look after them the first year, right?
Right.
And I went over and I watered them, and he brought me this shirt. Look at this shirt.
What's this thing say?
It says hide and seek world champion Sasquatch.
Whistler, Canada. Are you up by Whistler?
No, he was just there. My best friend, and then his wife is from Japan, and his family's from Czechoslovakia, but they live here. And I looked after their food forest for them. It didn't really needed anything looking after, but he likes his trees that he planted this year watered. And I said, well, okay. So next year he's going to put down the Ruth Stout method all around the trees on the Rocky Hill, because we started out with just bare rock, okay? And he built 2 huge pathway soil banks, at least a dozen to 15 yards of rich black humus in each one. And then he brought it up the hill, and I helped him too. And we planted it. That was the first year. And then the second year, he's almost finished now. He needs another 50 yards of soil made. And he's working on that once the coffee shop.
How long do you think that'll take? Another year or two? I mean, you're going great guns now with it.
Once the coffee shops open up, he can get a lot more bio mass from there, the coffee and then the food waste and stuff to make. Right now, nobody wants near their green garbage can, even because of this pandemic or whatever, this crisis or whatever. Yeah. But he went on a 3 to 5 year pilgrimage to build it. It was the most difficult one to build, is on bare rock on a hillside. Yeah. And it's straight up and down, and with little ledges here and there. And he's building onto them catchments to catch water. He's done a lot. He's pulled his weight. He's done his learning. I've been there with him the whole way. But I mean, you got to understand, he started on bare rock hillside. Okay? Yeah, it wasn't a lawn. It wasn't a piece of virgin ground. It had nothing. And now it's something. It's beautiful. You have one apple on one tree, but it's a beginning, you see. Because those are new trees.
It's like the thing with Jeff Lawton building the thing in the middle of the desert. Similar.
Exactly.
Very difficult thing. If he could do it, it can be done. Quit making excuses. Everybody can't do everything. Something.
If you regreen the desert, okay. If you can regreen the desert, you look at out West Homestead there, and she's building her food forest continually. And Bill did the water catchments where they directed the water right into their food forest. Yeah, and you go look at it, and I've seen it for a couple 3 years now. I've been watching her channel.
It look dry.
And Bill, look, they both are very smart people, and they directed the water. See, that's the problem in the desert, but they've directed it to their biomass that's in the food forest. And she talked about it in a recent recent video, how she scraped up a bunch of the pine needles and put them in her paths and stuff. She's very smart. She's a very smart lady. Very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They're doing it right, because I remember a few years ago, I'm thinking, wow, they're gardening out there and it was so dry and everything, but they've totally transformed that area. Totally. Yeah. It didn't look that green and lush before at all.
Yeah. I picked some sage. You see it? Sage seed a couple of weeks ago, and I just dried them. So I'm going to plant trays of sage so I can move it around all the different food forests and have sage growing pretty much wild in the food forest for a 4th floor. Probably a couple hundred seeds there. Nice. put a few trays out and then go planting them next year. I was good this year on making fig clones. I made a lot of fig clones.
Good. See, I want to get up and running and just start. I was propagating things before, but I didn't have an outlet. But now I can tell people through this. I can tell them on the East Bay Permaculture email and that type of thing, and try to get people up and running and want to engage with the center and all that.
Yeah.
And I just got a resource recovery device called the pickup truck, Ford Ranger, the other day. So
nice.
I really feel like I'm going to get up and rolling.
So the big thing that for myself in permaculture, that is to make soil. Yeah, making soil. That's key, because once you make soil, you can make a food for us.
Exactly.
I mean, you got your support crops. That's all fine and dandy in your chop and drop. But pathway soil bank works, and it's just like in layers, like 5-6 inch layers, are all different brown, green, or green, brown. You make soil, and that's like black gold. People go and buy soil. They have pallets delivered.
Yeah, I did myself for my half barrels.
I never bought soil.
Wow.
I made my soil.
I had to get up and run. I wanted to get it going this year, but
those green,
I want to make my own.
Those green garbage cans that you see outside everybody's house, you must have seen them.
Of course.
That's the greatest pile of biomass you'll ever get.
They're throwing away soil, basically.
Yeah, and then the guy that comes and mows the lawn, that goes on to your kitchen waste, and then the Starbucks or Tim Hortons or Krispy Kreme or whatever with their coffee grounds. And there's a lot more at the peanut factory. There's shells. There's so much bio waste to make layers.
And
anywhere. You can make them anywhere.
And I'm going to start generating more leads because I have that truck.
You got that truck. You can pick up a lot of. Bio waste when you go out. You don't have to go out and pick it up. You're going to have to go out somewhere anyway. Okay. Right. So when you go out, obviously you want to bring back as much as you can.
Exactly. Every time.
Even if you just threw it all in a big pile, it's still going to make soil in a year.
I got a bucket that has this lid that I can screw on. I'm going to get one more of them lids. So I just bought some buckets at the hardware store. Long story short, if you bought the bucket, they donate money to some outfit. And everything that you put in the bucket, you get 20% off of the regular price.
Wow.
A bunch of tools I was going to buy anyway, so I went there twice a day. But anyway, story short, now I got 2 more buckets than I had. I'm going to get one more of them screw-on lids. Everywhere I go, I can get some banana peel, some of this, some of that, whatever.
You know what? At the market, at the big stores and stuff, they throw a lot of stuff out. I've started throwing it into a trench here in one of my pathway soil banks, because on the far right side of the property, there's not much water. So I'm beefing that up. And it's only like 2 or 3 feet of rich black humus there. Some places on this food forest, I have up to 5+ feet of rich black humus. So when it soaks up water during the winter, it slowly releases it over the summer. I can go out there and just kick the dirt around a little bit, throw down some lettuce or kale seed, and it's growing. I don't have to do anything to it.
That's excellent. How do you keep the rodents at bay, though, from being overrun by them? If you got all
I don't have rodents.
Really? You got everything in a better balance than
well, I have 2 dogs. I have owls that live in the big cedars here.
Oh, it's the owls, I bet.
And so what if a rat or mouse shows up? What's he gonna do? Dig a hole and provide you with some water and oxygen down in the ground?
No, I'm thinking
organic farmers, they like mice. Believe it or not.
I'm more thinking like I get overrun and they start coming in the house.
Yeah, that's when I pull out my air pistol. No, what happens is okay. So if you got a mouse, like I just had a mouse here come and take a fig. I got 1,000 figs out there, man.
Right. No, I'm just more concerned, like I said, about them invading the house. And
I've never seen that before.
Those are not bothering me. I mean, I had some in my garage because nobody was there. And I put a zapper in one. I don't know how long it had been zapped, but that thing, the maggots were eating it. It was so They've been
Yeah, when you kill a mouse, throw them in your biodigester.
But the tail on that rat, I swear, was 4 inches long.
He goes in the biodigester too.
And anyway, that's my only big. I'm all down with building the whole thing. I'm just thinking, how do I deter them from coming at my place, my part as much? That's
did you see what Dan was saying there about some guy down in Florida there? He turns their lawn into food and then trades the people inside that own the property some food.
That's excellent, Dan. I'm trying to find where my thumb.
Yeah,
excellent.
That's pretty good.
We need to make more people like that in the North America, at least.
Yeah, making soil is where it all starts at, man. You're making soil. That's number one. Once you've made soil, because food comes from within the soil. Okay. So once you made soil and you get on that train of thought that, okay, I'm waking up today and I'm changing my regimen and I'm making soil every day for say an hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. And what it is your kitchen waste, your wood chip companies, you get it all together on as much as you can and start building the soil. Right. Once you build the soil, you can put that soil on concrete and plant it. Once you have the soil, that's why you grow nitrogen fixers. And
I've seen that happen.
To make drop and drop, but you want to condense that. See where you are, you can grow fairly rapidly crops to do chop and drop. In the north, we don't have that opportunity. What you grow in 5 years to make a food forest takes us 40 years. So that's why Pathway Soil Bank comes into play. If you're in this, you're in Southern California, and Dan's in Florida, you can make soil very rapidly there.
I'm more in the north, the Bay Area, but in any case, you're right. We're warmer than you are, and
in the north, it takes 40 years to grow a food forest. Where you are, it takes 5.
Exactly, for sure.
So what I did is I condensed time with making the Pathway Soil Bank. It's worth looking into. There's some cross-sectional diagrams that are available on my soil playlist. That's very well worth looking at. That makes it very simple. It was my students that made it, and it's on the soil playlist. And it's a cross-sectional diagram on how to make Pathway Soil Bank. Once you make Pathway Soil Bank with all the different biomass that you can collect, it's going to be different wherever you live.
Right. Whatever your resources.
Once you make it, that's it. It's done. Yeah. Dan, you see how Dan's got his? He put in coffee ground, wood chips, whatever he had. He kept going. You look at his place. He's 2 years in. Yeah. And you look at his place in 3 more years, that place is going to be like just beautiful.
He's going to be charging people to come visit.
His pigeon peas. See that he's smart. He put the pigeon peas there. That's the nitrogen fixers. See, there's perennial nitrogen fixer and an annual nitrogen fixer. Exactly. One you got to plant every year, and the other one just keeps on giving. So you want to plant them both. Eh? So once the nitrogen's in there and you get some microbial action, you feed it with sugar. Okay. No. Yeah. And molasses is best, but you feed the whole place and get the microbes going when it's warm out. Mm-hmm. And you want to see them break down that nitrogen to make it available for the plants. That's the key here. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I know a soil biologist, and he teaches at the university here. And I was missing a couple of links, how it all worked, and he put it together for me. Because you're never going to figure it out all by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like the system doesn't want us to figure it all out. They want to componentize everything and make everything we have to pay for somehow.
Yeah. Hey, By Golly Studio is here.
Hi, By Golly. I saw you, but it's this whole thing and not want to interrupt, and then I think of something else. And sorry,
they're gone. Oh, sorry, I missed them. She's an artist. She lives not far from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Eventually, I hope I have a whole bunch of people that are at least on the West Coast. That would be great.
Yeah.
And not to disinclude you, Dan, but it's good to have a lot of people that are local too, I think. And anyway, move forward. I'm thinking that on part of mine, if I get up and running and cooking and the stars align, I might do tropical because we got heat. I can just put some things that hold water and keep it from getting too darn cold in the winter and grow tropical stuff. And it's have a more robust existence. I love, a lot of stuff I eat's tropical. Sweet potato, turmeric, black pepper's tropical, you name it.
Water is the issue on the planet with everybody, no matter where you live. It's the water. Mm-hmm. How much you can retain, keep, you see,
and we've been busy drying it out in the winter.
Well, what happens is, you see, water goes down to the drain, then the drain goes out into a lake or ocean. That's the wrong thing to do. The right thing to do is to put it back into the aquifer. Don't have it going down that drain. It needs to go into the aquifer. All the cedar trees died here on southern Vancouver Island, hey? They're dead. They're dead. And the reason why is because the water was all pushed away from the aquifer. It was put down a drain and went out in the ocean. And they kept building suburbia, and no water went to the aquifer. So the cedars, they're a water lover. Okay, they send out lateral root system to find water. And when they can't find water, they just die. One cedar tree, 100 feet tall, 150 feet tall, can come up with 1,200 liters or 500 gallons of water a day it needs. So when you're directing the water all away from the forest, and that's what's happened with the civil engineers have done, you've got these dead forest zones on southern Vancouver Island, and the consequence. That's the consequence is the civil engineer has pushed the water away from the aquifer. Simple. Okay. You drive around, you can see the
Howie. Hi, Kay. Thanks for coming on. Okay, go ahead. You're
on. All good. But, sorry, I can rattle on about permaculture.
I've expressed it different to people, but my view of it is we've been drying out the landscape to make it comfortable for people, and so our cars don't get stuck in mud. It's not strictly just this drought. We've been drying everything out too much.
The water's not in the ground.
So then when there is a drought, it's worse because it's not like it used to be at all.
It can't soak it up. It runs it off. That's why you have a flood.
Yeah. So
the civil engineer that I see around here, I wouldn't have them doing anything.
We should start.
All I see is damage.
Howie, should start calling them uncivil engineers.
One thing I'd like to touch topic on is that you're absolutely right. Before I lose the train of thought, though,
go ahead.
It's tarmac.
The what?
Tarmac.
Yeah.
There's millions of roads in on the planet Earth made from tarmac. Mm-hmm. And when you pick up tarmac and lift it up, there's no microbial life underneath it. There's no worms. There's no nematodes. There's no indigenous microorganisms. There's nothing. It's completely dead. Okay. Right. So what happens is you have a dead zone on ground from this toxic oil product. Right. The same thing that if it goes in the ocean, then you got a big deal, and then there's billions and trillions of dollars spent to clean it up. Well, we put it all over the ground here.
True.
Millions of miles of it on in Canada and the United States and around the world, and we pave roads with this toxic material, and thousands of chemicals are added in there, and under the auspices that it's suspended and it can't go anywhere. Yeah. So what happens is you got PCBs added to the tarmac to mercury. So then you pave a road.
Want to get rid of, right?
Yeah, the industrialists. They want to pave a road, and they do, but nothing lives underneath it. Worms don't even go underneath it. They go over the top of it. And you must have seen worms on the road before. I advocate, and I'll say it here, I know it's your channel, but get a jackhammer and go out there and jackhammer up some tarmac pavement and throw down a cinder block, man.
You know how as a kid I was always inspired by weeds that would go through the road that is no longer hardly used, and it was inspiration to me that wow, something's breaking through this mess. And we paved too much. What if some of the roads were just wood chip? Then we'd have to grow trees just to wood chip, and it would be a cycle right there, and then we could eliminate a lot of the tarmac.
We can have concrete, hempcrete, cinder. Right. There's a lot more products than some toxic oil product like that tarmac. It's carcinogenic. You actually feed that to mice, they get cancer and die.
Wow.
Why would we you see kids walking to school on it?
Yeah.
And you wonder why they're sick or they're low immunity or they are autistic or whatever. I'm tired of looking at tarmac, man. I advocate I'll buy anybody a jackhammer that's brave enough to go and jackhammer some pavement. I'll pay for the jackhammer.
There used to be a group called the I can't think of it now. The Auto Free Times was a little journal I would get once in a while at a local bookstore, and they kind of went defunct. They downgraded their name, and once you downgrade the name, the activism tends to fall out of things, and then they kind of we're the nice people, okay, when you act nice, everybody rolls over you like grass, kind of, they mow you, it seems like. So
see, Wild Edibles is in your
thanks for coming by, Wild Edibles. Give it if you like, down, up, whatever. Anyone helps over time. So if you want a thumb down, that's perfectly fine. If you want to get on the panel, I can put an invite. I'm probably going to log off at 7 because I do have to do some shopping. But
9 minutes.
You got time. You can get your point across, or you can try. It can be a first point. Try. Try to convince me. Whatever it is, maybe a tarmac.
So the before I go, the last words I'd like to leave with everybody is make some soil.
Build soil.
Pathway Soil Bank works, man. It propels forward very rapidly compared to conventional methods. You want to build rapidly. You want to condense time.
We've only got so many hours and days here. Let's do it quicker so we can inspire the next guy to do it quicker. The next guy.
Get your neighbors involved. Get your church involved. Get your friends, family. Get them all involved, bringing you the kitchen waste or coffee grounds. When someone comes to visit you, tell them, you got to stop and pick up some coffee grounds, man. You're on your way here.
Exactly. Let's start.
You got to imagine. You have to have an imagination and really think about propelling your food forestry to the max, and other people helping you to do it, and they don't even know it. Build soil. At all costs, build soil. Once you have soil, you can grow anything, but you got to get the soil. I mean, soil is soil, but without nutrients and amendments, it's just soil.
Look,
you're not going to grow anything in it.
To interject a little bit here. I stayed in Hawaii. We had a compost pile that was on concrete. It was a little bit of like a driveway, and guys parked his little boat there, right? But he'd quit doing that. It was on a little driveway. But anyway, long story short, there was stuff growing there of its own accord because it rains a lot and it was warm and it was on the concrete, so the nutrients aren't leaching away. The tomatoes growing out of that volunteer was a giant bush. I could hardly there's no humus, but out of there, and papayas were springing out of it. Everything that got eaten at that farm was springing out of that thing. It was crazy good. So I know what you mean. You can build on pavement because I've seen it. It's crazy good that I would have never believed you could grow good things on top of concrete, but you can. You're absolutely right, Howie. I mean,
Wild Edibles is talking about how her rabbits help her build soil, and that's absolutely correct. And that's alkaline too. That's not acidic, okay?
Oh, we tend to be more alkaline. In the east, I hear more acidic.
Near bogs and stuff and conifers, they're going to be acidic. Something like that. But you know, if you're near like clay is not acidic like the gray clay here is, and it's very alkaline.
Oh, I got heavy clay.
Well, yeah, heavy clay. It doesn't matter what color is it.
It's like dark brown.
Brown or gray?
Dark
It's
brown.
only the two. Is it brown?
Yeah, I would. I really got to think.
Red.
It's not reddish.
Gray.
Is it more of a gray?
Blue.
It's not blue. Maybe
More gray.
Yeah, I always thought of it as a dark brown, but maybe it's more of a gray.
I think where you are, it's gray, but I mean, you might find brown as well. You find a lot of red clay where you know there was like iron and stuff like that, and petrified trees. They turned red too.
Like if you go to Honduras, it seems to me, I haven't gone in my adult life, but as a kid, it seemed like up in them areas was all red dirt.
Yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, everybody build soil.
Build soil. That's number one.
Build as much soil as you can.
Any way you can.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination. I learned it from David Holmgren. I was on one of his on his live stream with actually Dan Permaculture was there too.
Oh, I missed that. That was like a week or something.
There's another one coming on on the 11th of August or 9th or 10th. I get my dates confused sometimes because I got a lot in my brain going on.
I wrote it down and lost the note because
but what he talked about was using your imagination in permaculture and sustainability and solutions. You have to imagineer it. So the solution is to always have soil being made constantly.
Yeah.
And never look back. That's what I do. I make soil at a lot of places now. It's so much fun, and to see it in infancy to fruition. Mm-hmm. That's really cool to see. Like I just went this morning for a walk to the school where the children built their food garden, and I donated the trees, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, this stuff works. The place is loaded. It's not even an eighth of an acre. But I'll tell you, there's figs, apples, plums, kale, squash, every type of salad green you can imagine. And they had built it all in layers, just like, you know, brown, green, brown, green. My leading student, my star student, she was the facilitator of the whole thing. And it got built, and she came and got fig trees and plum trees for me and stuff. And she constantly needed guidance. So now this morning it's in its third year. So I went over and had a look at it, and it's amazing what kids did.
Yeah.
Kids.
And that's great because that's a generation that's going to make it all really happen.
Clay soil is packed with minerals, Dan's saying there, and he's absolutely right. That's why if you've got clay soil, dig a trench and then put the pathway soil bank inside the trench. So and then you layer down that clay as you're putting in the pathway soil bank layers of biomass. You layer in each one with some of the clay that you dug out. We do that over in the pathway soil banks over on the west coast at a food forest. This is its second summer. And I've got some video that I put up already, but I have some more. And it's growing phenomenally fast. The blueberries didn't do so good because it was alkaline. But when I was there, the lady went and got some peat to make it acidic. So she had lots of blueberries, plants, and the blueberries were on them, but the leaves were all yellow.
Oh. And
that's indicative that it's too alkaline. You see, or it's also indicative that it could be too acidic in a different type of plant, like blueberry, vacuum blueberry. That's an acid lover and a water lover. You know, blueberries are water lovers. Not all plants are water lovers. Like cactus, they're not water lovers, right? You have to understand what loves water and what don't when you're going to plant it. And making
bananas don't like wet feet, so things like that. They like a lot of water, but they don't want to just be drowning in it either. So stuff like
Well,
that.
Wild Edible says she has sandy red sand and white sand. Well, that's where you start adding your coffee grounds, your wood chips, and your lawn clippings and chop and drop. But you ever see Wild Edible's garden? It looks cool, man. It's everywhere. It's
I think I have
polyculture.
seen it. I've been watching some videos from there. Yeah.
Yeah. She just put out a couple new ones there, Wild there, and yeah, it looks really cool, man. It
And
grows everywhere. It looks
red and white, healthy soil, and you just be overgrowing everything, you know. So that's the thing.
I think you're supposed to be on your way somewhere at 7 there, Ron.
Another minute or two, and then I go shopping, so I make sure I got enough grub because I haven't grown everything I need to yet.
You will when you start making soil. You'll have an abundance of soil. Each one of my students that made the Pathway Soil Bank, they went back a year later and dug it out and used it in their beds, and they used it in their flower pots, and they did a window dressing of all the trees. You see, so the Pathway Soil Bank makes it easy to make where you're not turning a compost. Like when it's great that people make compost, don't get me wrong, but you're doing work and you're having to turn it. And that's the rodent issue right there. Right. Now, when you do Pathway Soil Bank, I didn't have a rodent issue. I'm not saying that it won't happen to you because I'm not living there. I don't know.
Right.
But it's nothing to lose any sleep over. Right. And mice, when mice tunnel through the ground, I interviewed Dave Chambers. He's a professional organic farmer here in the city. Right. And he's very up on his farming and looking after nature entirely. He's amazing. Guess what? He loves mice. And I'm like, but what about your food? He goes, no. You have to understand, they take 1%. But what do they do? They make these tunnels that water can go into when it rains, and when and air for the root systems. And it was amazing to see all his. If you go back on my videos and you look up Dave Chambers there, and you look at some of his videos, and he shows how to grow in perpetuity with all of nature.
Nice.
He doesn't. He likes his biochar. He likes his wood ash. He has a biochar maker. He makes biochar constantly.
Excellent.
Constantly. And he powderizes it, and then he spreads it on the ground. So then when I went harvesting, like I've been to his place harvesting, and he'll have an acre of spuds or acre of beets or acre of sunchokes, whatever. But I'll tell you what, right now, you won't find any damaged food at his place, and you'll only see high production. His wife is a permaculturalist too, and it's interesting to meet other people that are into the same thing that you are. But if you go back and look at my videos there on organic farming with Dave Chambers, he gives up a ton of great ideas. How, like a lot of people have morning glory growing on their lot and they can't grow food. Okay. But you overgrow that lot with something else, like a cover crop of clover, and that takes out the morning glory. Or you put in a cover. You start planting beets. You clear the land, plant the beets. Sure, it's going to come back a bit, and the knot weeds and stuff like that. But the thing is, if you're growing more food than it can take over, you're pushing away that nuisance plant that you don't want.
And whatever it is, it could be blackberries. The more you chop them back, eventually you get it down to just, you don't have to chop it back as bad. I mean, I'm assuming you don't want blackberry in the yard. Okay.
Well, I like blackberry, but hey, I gotta go. And Dan Permaculture Food Court is on his way out.
And up behind there was all this hedge of blackberry that nobody liked, and I wasn't going to spray it, so I started chopping it back and pulling up root. And people, you got to spray it. No, I don't have to. I wanted to experiment, and I got it down to a bare minimum of work over a few years by just staying with it. And I think that's kind of what you're saying. Just stay with it. The work is going to decrease, and what you get out of the place is going to increase.
Yep. Wise words. Make soil. Peace out, home slice. See you, Dan. See you, Wild. See you, Cecilia. Bye, Ron. This has been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming by, Howie. Thanks for coming by. Wild Edible. See Cecilia, Dan. I'm not sure who else ever came by. Kay, I'm going to head out too, and because I do have to food shop. Thanks everybody for coming by, watching, being bored, commenting, whatever. And thanks. Remember, next week is going to be my 4-year YouTube anniversary giveaway. Thanks for coming by. Come by then. I'll put whoever shows up, I'll put your name in a hat. We'll draw for a few of these books. Thanks for watching. Peace and permaculture. Grow soil, friends. Bye.